Yes, good evening once again. Asan Abba EBM. The national conversation continues. My culture say time has come. I be active participant in the national conversation. Ghana no, we all have a stake in it. Obi stake and swinchen obi is the reason yen to me no at this point in time. Governance no say be you enye yo ejina so leaders will come and go, but Ghana will forever be here. And at any point in time obi ba no ya de na say enkoyi I think we should be bold enough, we should be empowered by the fact that we have a stake in the country, and our contribution be a worthy be an free bit me boy I think that is what we should be doing. I believe that started in 1992 I democratize fourth republic ye gina so abesi nei senka sa ye open channel for offensive dialogue and as a platform for national conversation in a larger scale like this. Ebianka nema bibra in the past no ebianka yakoyanim, but now we have the opportunity. My culture say now we've gone ahead of the traditional media, the social media, the advances in technology and other things, and make it possible for us to have access to diverse platforms in various areas. In one way or the other, no, we can always interact and have a conversation, and it is one of those. And I know how saying I have been we are just trying to say we put two ideas together. Makasa is unfortunate we are not able to interact because we've not been able to set up yet. I bet to me I give you the opportunity, but what you can do is at least you can send in a test under the comment section. I'll take time so ma go through, and then also just seize the opportunity and share. Today you're going to have a conversation, and the conversation will revolve around Nehemiah Koso family no what is right in front of us. This economic crisis Ghana yatom. Now we are struggling to find a way out. In the midst of struggle to find a way out, unfortunately, some of our friends are victims with this debt exchange program name other measures the government and adopted say obey get itself out of the situation. I think a lot of things are going on, and still for national conversation I think it's of crucial interest. I say me know how we can situate the conversation in a context that you bit me coming out of the situation will be a enkoka. The other side the conversation around the National Cathedral some of us are Christians, we believe in God, we love God. Cathedral on our individual ways, we can contribute, but one person cannot hold the whole nation to ransom. So at this crucial point in time you find yourself in a hellhole. I call it a hellhole. Now right in front of us, or be at it as I say, some of these things are free sebi, and even if we are going to do it, I may free senka yenya proper engagement near amount for have one national dialogue. Na se Ghana for you know the day no say oh baby drui se cathedral and ye pa, then we know say majority of the Ghanaians na but obint mean questionable say individual promise will be able to make it to God. Now in executing it, you national funds any day. Frisadi we shall see a coso. We've seen many cases of corruption, fraud, deceit, coso kroma. There are many book among for bomb crown the so-called man of God or more affront these things, and we free santa be a dream or mom with divine wisdom, or bit me a Kenyans as a much rabbi say, yes, cathedral nisi because in other countries, Okwabu cathedral, but those cathedral near seen in the 17th and the 18th century, and in this cry time as soon as I will hear cathedral, you look at the timing. This time the economy is in crisis and citizens are suffering. There is a global economic crisis that is set in motion partially by COVID-19 and other way we need say we are so be home children at this time no also phobia sebi oh nyame nyansa no definitely be bold enough and look at government in the face and catch and papa yen nyina ya support nyankopon there, but at this time it's a bad time, but ya high nya sanity omomom na board duku na omo shaban no kutu passe se nipa bewu nipa ho ba chiri no omo de omo mfa ho na yakase be ye nyame adwuma no eno an ye be ye beginning no ya kan nyansa same wo krom ha nyina chiri nipa, but they didn't listen. Earlier, me call Facebook and I me throw statement between nobody is ridiculing anybody and obien who are celebrity whatever, because but the fact and they say and we spoke about it in good faith. We were ushering and admonishing government on the need to take offensive measures at the end of the day. But because of politics, and they decided to do their own thing. Unfortunately, no, here we are. And Nema, they say you don't need a soothsayer. Even no more na party, some down money, so no class say a tear flow money so. Because and there who do seek a koto bonda. Ebia na war plans, ebia na school, ebia na kwantuo. The government is putting the hands through your throat. Our false no abra or engage you. All these things and Yehun into my classes and Kia Shasia and the not talk conversation. And then a lot of people coming in joining the conversation, and you understand why, because some of the MPs, some of the soft foreign Christian council on this statement about Bontini in my room visa, Messi Ohieni and Tobond Ohieni Fanisika and Tobond. So these guys, you know, who are more or more Tiesia Bonti or Mokas, one way or the other, no, they have become victims to this particular development I cause Kana. So you can't hypocrisy because yet Kruma and I'm one of the wine for kutu your friends a kutu pa so the farm Fusika Kruma say, the sin there, Sikanishim, the guy is still masquerading and gallivanting across this particular country. Prosecution cry abono. Prosecution cry abono. Obia ni why any bibia on amabonte issue no ko eba ekoba, nothing has happened. And aside that, you know, banking sector cleanup here course you saw what happened in this particular country. Among for besin there, among for investment no ya nyo bia man ntia abonte so can be amasebi among for musical with team. India ban saying and with this debt restructure na ya farm for bond ya farm for sikane de and ya nyo bi amamo tisi abonti omokasa e kire say amam for ho akokam, but that notwithstanding maka kire say there are no winners in this particular way ekoso, because we have a country, the future of everybody is at stake, and it's the reason why we must do our best to ensure say we navigate through the stormy waters and come out Sebeya Ghana will remain robust, will remain strong, and citizens will not lose hope and confidence in the country, and we will still have minor Ghana intact. Peace and stability and I enjoy over the years, will still remain. That is the reason why, once again, say. So, one opportunity to be here, just share. Very soon, we will be diving into the issues. I don't want to waste time because already time called that. And so I just take few minutes and share, copy the link, put it in whichever group you find yourself in, and let's have this interaction right here and see say we can also add our voices to the conversation. La Moses, I see you here. You say good job, bro. Thank you very much. Adams, Ramsey, Endo, Adomasa, Gloria Hiadome, Sierra, I see you here. Alex Entry, Sir Cosmos. I think the list goes on. Dave Dove, Kwaku Baden, my own friend in Istanbul, William Sapia, Julie Belinda Obri, Moro Abubakari, Anthony Kofi, China Kwe, Hubert Gapo, Taylor Moni, Terry Larry, Innocent Amati Kambori, and Musa Ibrahim, and a lot more of our people are here. Just join us, and and our face, we do a lot of stuff. Apart from this one, we do a lot of engagement, just trying to organize your friends, youth empowerment programs, and then as a forum. So your penny, your friend is saying number below. So if you want to support our streaming and other activities that we do, because there are a lot of students very often, you know, they need help. We need to engage them on stuff. So our Momo number is also pinned under the column, in the column section. So or support there is a team that is on standby. You engage them, and I think that will be cool. And we move on. Yes. So what share we are? Let's have a conversation. I just don't want to take us back about this debt restructuring and why we are here. Topic no and topic me consider and then say, how did we get here? And until see a bit dealing with the root cause of the problems now we can never be successful in our attempt to navigate ourselves out. Unfortunately, like a typical black man or like a typical Ghanaian, we don't think deep, we think on the surface. So whenever there is a problem, what we do is we deal with the symptoms. But as somebody who has worked at a hospital, symptoms a sign of a deep-seated problem. Maybe there is a pathological defect in the body, and then it manifests in the form of symptoms. So whenever we they are just symptoms indicating that there is a certain pathological defect, and as something go wrong in the body, being it physiological, anatomical, whatever, something has actually gone on wrong. So if you decide to treat the symptoms, focusing on the symptoms without identifying the major medical cause or the pathological defect in our cause within the body, now focus on the symptoms. It's like washing your feet, wash your socks. You will never get to the bottom of it. You may succeed in dealing with the symptoms. For instance, if it is about pain that is radiating or whatever, you can take painkiller. But remember, painkiller ends diarrhea. You only deal with the pain, but the disease in Ankasa will continue to persist. So for us to find a lasting solution to the problem, what we have to do is we identify the root cause, that is the disease, and we deal with it. Dealing with it, the symptoms will go away. And those who deal with it, what we do in the hospital, we come up with a surgical intervention, and whatever the problem, if it is possible to excise it, then you cut it, and then the person will be relieved. That is the point we are. In the midst of this messy situation that we find ourselves in now, I don't think our handling has been focusing on the problem. No, we are rather focusing on the symptoms. Root cause because we know why we are here, and unfortunately, certain commitment that must be exhibited by individuals who brought us here. Ghana neighbor who say, something has happened, and then there is the need for us all to join together in a concerted effort to be able to get ourselves out of the situation. We are not doing that, because and run make catch on TV say, if you go to the United States of America, the army deploy, say your chances are 50-50. You may go and may not come back, but people happily enlist. They go because they know there is a country that they are proud of, and then there is the need to defend that particular country with all their might, everything. They will do it, however the consequences. But for them to do that, and because they have trust and certain confidence in the state, they believe in the actors, they know to the idea somebody out there will remember them. Their interest, are paramount to them. But why is everybody trying to disconnect or distance his or herself from whatever that is happening? Because why? Because these people are not demonstrating, they are not showing any commitment. They are ready. Problem. Maka in the past for us to get ourselves out of this particular place, first we need to identify what the root cause is, and it's simple: reckless expenditure and the reckless mismanagement. Some of the decisions are taking saying deliberately crashing banks, taking away other people's business, and then as for without any justification. And the guy, the team, the very people who did that are still masquerading. However, the resistance from Ghanaians, Second Oforiatta and his team, other people must go. The president insisted and is still protecting the guy. So confidence in the system is no longer there. So if Ken Oforiatta, there is an economic challenge that has to do with and finances, money, and as for them, at the back when that particular industry net thrive for trust and confidence. At this time, if Ken Oforiatta is still the guy, trust me, nobody will believe in the financial system of this particular country, and nobody will commit. Or they know that it will not come back. So for us to get to any step beyond, the first sensible thing the president could have done to ensure that Ken Oforiatta goes away. And I say he as an individual, no, if he has this center of respect for Ghanaians, or as a human being, or a certain modicum of respect for himself, the first thing that he will do is say, oh, let me go and somebody will come. But this guy is still hanging on and still seems to be the main actor in this whole thing that is going on. So at the end of the day, does he inspire and gender confidence? And you think somebody will put his money in the economy? If there are investors out there, do you think if Ken Oforiatta is still there, they will bring their money? Trust me, nobody will do. Nobody. That is the first thing. Again, if you look at the expenditure of government, there hasn't been any commitment on the part of government. Say, oh, ADSC, BBSC. So as a buyer, let us take the first step. Now you're making sure, say, Sebi, you demonstrate, say, we are sharing the burden, we are sharing the pain, because every day that is what they tell us. Share the burden. Share the burden. No? You caused it, actually. So for you to enlist the support and the commitment of Ghanaians, and the first thing you need to do is to demonstrate that indeed you too are committing and sacrificing something. But my friend, let's go to the Flagstaff House, the Jubilee House instead. Go and look at the number of people who are working right there, the presidential staffers, the number of them, and some of the your friend is saying position more occupy and I'm going to take you through some of them. For instance, so don't forget constitution and mandate is what kind of Presidential Office Act 1993 Act 463 is a demanded set that particular list, no. You see the parliament for parliamentarians in who and who and a year juma ema abang. So that particular list was submitted on the 25th of May 2022, a year last year, you free me about a few months ago. Let's go to communication. Let me say, Otia, and you give up on this particular country, and you believe, say, the president of this particular country is never serious, he's never committed to resolving anything. Or the number of your friends say presidential staff as Omugu, the Jubilee House or Moya Juma, all these things, there is no transparency as to how much they earn, as to how much the your friends say goodies and then as a foreign privileges that come with. Nobody knows. The last time number no I must submit here, which I believe they didn't even submit all the list, was 995 people. And if you want to understand what they do, if you go to communication in the Jubilee House, not and yet your friend is saying information minister more friend is saying if you go to the Jubilee House, I'll buy who say your friend is saying Eugene Ahen Ohona, a hot Flagstaff Jubilee House and Casano. These are a number of communicators who are working right in the house. Let's not submit here. They have 4 directors of communication in the Jubilee House. 4 directors of communication in the Jubilee House. Aside the 4 directors, we have 5 deputy directors of communication in the Jubilee House. Mayor no na number no bom. 4 directors of communication in the Jubilee House. Then we have 5 deputy directors of communication, 2 communication specialists. 2 communication specialists in the Jubilee House. We have 3 communication officers in the Jubilee House. We have an assistant media liaison officer in the Jubilee House. We have a communication consultant in the Jubilee House. We have a presidential advisor on media in the Jubilee House, and you have a technical director to the presidential advisor in the Jubilee House. So this is a list of individuals doing communication alone within the Jubilee House. Communication ministry or any deputies and as for individuals below them and count. So if you want to understand the composition of people who are working in the Jubilee House and they draw fat salary in this difficulty time, these are the people. So as a serious government, we are well and so for pension yesika. Police in here where you do several years, I wouldn't say bond or cofanum. The first thing you do is you tell us, oh, Sanko appointment when you know, you cancel, say be free space, because all these people are paid with our taxes. And you know, once they work in the Jubilee House, they enjoy certain privileges which you and I in the end of the day, if you go to the University of Ghana or you go to any other university and a professor sika fiana or general in a month, or catch and say, or make a sacrifice, I wouldn't mean to because there are challenges. He knows there is a party boy who is sitting in the Jubilee House. He doesn't do anything because 4 directors of communication, 5 deputy directors of communication, 2 communication specialists, 3 communication officers, media aid, 5 technical communication. Just say, it's so ridiculous and so embarrassing at this crucial time. All these people are working in the Jubilee House and they are taking money. So okachire obi a civil servant and also obi oye adwuma say on sacrifice it. Obi I'm a Ghanaian. I've lived in the United States for so long. My working my life, for 30 to 50 years. I mean, I made investment to Chrome. I woke up a day and the government is telling me so. We see no the FN saying my foul Charlie at the yard here. Na dame de bemadi minim. Without even looking at the composition of individuals involved, 65 years, 75 years, and then as for if you would change the terms of agreement, and that person may not even lived in the next 2 years. Because they survive based on the dividend they draw from their investment. But we have all these people on government list. They are being paid. And aside that, just look at some of the list. Just say, they have a portfolio among for occupiers. Okay, ambassador at large. Your friend is saying other ridiculous names, funny names. They all draw fat money. We also have church relations manager at the presidency. Church relations manager at the presidency. Or Jessica, he's part of the team. At this crucial time, they still draw money because there hasn't been any official communication from the presidency. Cathedral be said, or major market, they still draw fat salary in this crucial time. So you tell me what they do. Again, we have diaspora church mobilization. Somebody is in charge, he takes salary at this crucial time. And again, you come back to the size of government, the number of ministries, because you see, in an extraordinary circumstances, you take extraordinary decisions. That is what you do. So for you to demonstrate certain fiber of commitment, Amaganani, I repose to trust and confidence in government, the first thing that you do is you resize government. But have you seen any attempt on the part of anybody? Say Obi, Bibi, nothing. So at the end of the day, how do you draw commitment? How do you enlist that particular support you need from Ghanaians? Say, oh, there is a crisis because you see, in the 80s there was a similar challenge in the UK. And when it happened, because people understood the struggles of government and what government was committed to doing then, people were willing to be part. History remember them. When the United Kingdom had financial challenges, we were part of the individuals that contributed to rescue that particular country at that point in time. But do you think at this point in time, looking at the track record of the managers of this particular economy, how reckless they've been, how they have mismanaged this particular country, the arrogance, the filthy, the pride that has been exhibited? Do you think any Ghanaian on his right senses or might want to commit in the face of all that is happening? Otu weni tu nchen ho baabi. Sa wo yesa wo de ade bia beche and you even want to commit. Otu weni hwe nchen ho a you say the cathedral agenda is still festering and still growing, and there are people who are still moved in that particular idea. If you raise your voice and speak against that, it's unethical. They will tell you, say, we are sambalat and answer we are tobis and we are naysayer. Nobody hates God. Because world, no, you either believe in something or you live for, you die for nothing. That is it. But we must be reasonable first. That is the most important thing. So a man for it's just like a papa on any year in the matifie na or say, oh, I could see as I say there, a name of widening into true traffic ma now what talking kene your fence mako, not the coffee. Or quan a man and a year another could see table so money, now a crumb or no cooking biscuit. Could eat pizza. That is what the government is doing. That is what this particular government is doing. When it comes to spending on their part, the sacrifices and the commitment that they need to show to demonstrate to Ghanaians, say the government on its own is doing something, and citizens, this should serve as an inspiration for you to follow suit. The government is never ready to commit. All that they are doing is just politics, playing around the issues just to make it look like they're actually doing something. But the fact is that Kendo Foriata is still gallivanting and masquerading around the corridors of power, playing finance minister at this crucial time, despite all that he has brought on this particular country. The president is never perturbed. Before, and then the sister-in-law of Kendo Foriata has been appointed as a deputy manager at ADB Bank. And then the sister-in-law, Eno Oforiata, has been appointed as the deputy manager at ADB. Obianka said only qualification, but the situation is sometimes you just have to be reasonable. Because if you look at where we are, the bad names that these guys have attracted themselves and the anger in the system, you have to be very reasonable in managing some of these things to ensure that at least you don't get on the people's nerves. But we are talking about a group of people who don't give a damn about war. They don't give a damn about me. They don't even respect anybody. So they act normal. Nothing has happened. So, no for that, I just go there. They can talk and talk. I don't care. That is the attitude. So the attitude of the president for quite some time now has been that go to hell attitude. Come on, just leave them. Let them talk. Come on, let them talk. Just go to hell. If you don't understand, I'm the president. Just go to hell. That is the attitude. That hopeless incompetence. Now, gritty, that is what has brought us here. But there are no winners. There are no losers in this particular thing, because all of us, our future is at stake. And we can't say, oh, we are shutting up for them to destroy, because every single destroy, no future will be on the line. Because, like I said, look at Akufo-Addo, look at his age, look at the old man, that is his advisor. What is the name? You say, Osafo and Co. and other people around them. These guys are borrowing for the next 20 years, the next 30 years, the next 40 years. You ask yourself, say, where would they be? And these monies are not being invested for us. Maybe we are going to reap certain dividends in the future, and for that matter, we will. They borrow the monies, we don't see them. No investment, absolutely nothing. So they are just heaping debt on this particular country. So it is not a surprise. If we say Nyamebo Wiase, and as a Kwame Nkrumah Ghana we betoa, within the space of 6 years, they have contributed more than 60 to almost 65% to our entire national debt within the space of 6 years. This is the reality. And they are still. Makacho say, Kenufureta kwa onkono. Then Niamana all year just trying to find a fiscal space to be able to borrow again, because next 2 years we are going into elections. I think that's next year. Yes. He's not going. And he's looking for a space to go and borrow. So he's doing all that he's doing. Speaking to our external creditors. Chale, Babi Adru, they're just among the catcher. speaking to Ghanaians. Whether you agree or not, I'll take your money. So in the end, whatever fiscal space that is created, the guy will use it as a springboard to go and borrow again to fill the space so that there will be more cash. That guy has acted more than a criminal, that I believe that somebody must hold him to account. But you see, we are a country, we are not serious. That is why sometimes, nobody is a victim in this particular country. We are accomplices and just sponsors of this crime regime. The crime regime that is right in front of us, we are just victims and accomplices. Because people who are supposed to just be bold enough look at the government in the face. I look through the traditional media, and sometimes quite interesting. They know the realities. They know these guys has been nothing but reckless managers of this particular economy. But they are not bold enough to face it, because after all, the station in there, so they sit right in front of their platforms. They play around the issues when they know who the real problem, what the real problem is, where they are coming from, and who actually caused it. Let us not sit here and pretend to say nothing happened and we springboard ourselves into a midst of economic crisis. Certain individual deliberately, they scripted it, rehearsed it, and then implemented it, just like movie script. That is what they did. So they are privy to everything. So at the end of the day, if there is a fallout, why can't we be bold enough and confront them and say, hey guys, you did it? If there is certain consensus among everybody within the media, all the big platforms included, everybody is coming up, come up, Mr. President, let Kenoforiata go. Do you think the president will not listen? If the media threatens to blacklist the government, if he fails to heed to their wise counsel, all the traditional media, together with the new media, said, Charlie, enough is enough. Much has been done against this particular country. And if you look at the economic fortunes of this particular country, we are on a terrible footing, and we cannot be part of this terrible history. We don't want to be consigned to the terrible pages of political history in this particular country. So at this point, we in the media, the traditional media, and our friends in the new media, we are threatening to blacklist government if he fails to act, because we feel it is as a result of the many reckless decisions that has been taken by these guys. It's the reason why we are here. So for anything at all, let us take the guy out. But hey, the guys who are supposed to leave this charge are people holding appointment in government. They don't have their boss, and they will not, because because in the country we find ourselves in, everything is money. Everything is money. So even governance, church has become transactional. If you have money, you can just get away with everything. That is the problem. But you see, if you go into politics, if you go into service with money as your main motivation, yes, money is good, it motivates, helps, but if you go there, politics with the sole purpose of making money, trust me, you will walk into the arena, make a lot of money, and in the end, that will be it. There will be nothing to do anymore. So people will be crying, there will be mass economic hysteria, there will be trepidations, there will be people will be going through excruciating pain. A lot of things will be happening, but you wouldn't care, because all you care about is money. But leadership elsewhere is never about money. It's never about money. Never, 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 never. If you're talking about your friend said the component and the ingredient of your friend's modern leadership, money doesn't even come in at all. Because if you have the ideas, Obama wasn't rich, but when he became president, it was his idea plus the resources provided by the nation that took him to wherever he went to. But we continue to use money to kill talent, take people away, just trying to do everything. So anybody at all can just wake up in this particular country and said, me too, I want to be president. What a joke. I have seen on screen certain terrible jokers, very terrible jokers, who are tooling up, wanting to be president. Jokers, terrible ones, toys. Why? Because we've cheapened the platform. Any idiot at all can just pop up and say, hey, I want to be president, because they know it's easy. Because it doesn't take much of intelligence, wit. It doesn't take anything. All you have to prove that you have money. Come on, me too. I've lived life. After all, I've been able to build 7 houses in East Legon. I own 7 plots of land here. I have this money in my account. And for that matter, hey, I qualify to be president. And I'm old enough. We are not looking out for qualities that people look out for elsewhere. Ingenuity, creative ideas, what you have, and what you can do, the change you intend. Nothing. Because for you to move that idea, you should be able to construct something that will sound so convincing that people can easily buy into it. They are not buying into the individual, but they rather buy into the vision. And that vision must be feasible. Just look around, people who are putting themselves up. Just look at them, wanting to be president because they think it's a terrible joke. Because after all, if Akufo-Addo had me a president as a Greek minister, and I said I did somehow can, because and if you look at him, I think that is what he shows. Because I wonder why, in his widest imagination, upon all the horrible things that has happened under his ministry, and all the terrible things that this guy has done in this particular country, one of the most creative and the most sensitive sectors of our country, that is the agri sector, handed to him. And if you look at how that thing was mismanaged, this guy will have the gut to tell people, the same media, that, hey guys, I'm resigning, I want to be president. These are guys and can flash you through the toilet years down the line. But Amaka said we do politics of no substance. It is about talk, it is about LDC, it is about MPP, so we don't look at the qualities. Anybody at all can just appointment or whatever is never by merit. Until we go back and begin to review this whole construct called leadership and have a proper appreciation of it and what it takes to be a leader and how to build that particular platform, the leadership platform, I used to leverage it to ensure we achieve change in this particular country. Trust me, we are not going to get anywhere. It's the reason why you see all these guys
I think I missed something.
Tooling up, I want to be president and stuff. We have to be very serious in this particular country. So like I'm saying, the commitment that I made mention of, if government is really committed and want Ghanaians to take him serious, these are some of the things that they should be doing, telling us, oh, my cut is down the size of my government as a motivation for other people. So bondholders, whether your friend is saying we are individual bondholder, because you see, the mere fact that we are taking the individual bondholders out of it doesn't solve any problem, because whether group bondholders, banks or whatever, now coming back to the same thing, because banks, you know, bank in Nisika is the same individual's money. So why lies this argument that individual bondholders? It's not just about the individuals, because firms no more musical to bond individuals' money. And so it comes back to the same thing. So it is imperative for us to have a holistic discussion and review of these whole things, put them under under teams, and see how best we can deal with them. Because as I speak, there hasn't been any commitment on the part of government, the Akufo-Addo government, who brought us here, because of recklessness, because of reckless incompetence. And they have vowed never to accept the responsibility for being the people who brought us here. So they are just dancing around it. And they are, in their attempt to bequeath that particular obvious responsibility, they are now ushering Ghanaians to carry the burden, to carry their sins, while they continue to live as kings. Because today, Kandoforata and his sister-in-law has been appointed. She's going to draw fat salary. Government is never willing to cut the size of government. I've mentioned to you the number of people who are working in the Jubilee House as communication, whatever. It's so ridiculous. We have the Ministry of Communication still up, doing whatever they are doing. We have the information ministry up doing what you begin to ask yourself, say, in this difficulty time, as the sensible thing to do to ensure, say, you merge some of them, because their roles sometimes overlaps, because this is no ordinary times. This is no ordinary times. I'm coming. Yes, so like I said, they are never ready. They are not committing to anything, but they want Ghanaians to commit. How is that done anywhere? How is that possibly done anywhere when they are not willing? Because say abayano ministerial positions, no, oko agric ministry, just say air time. The deputy ministers there. The number of them will be in charge of crops, will be in charge of horticulture, will be in charge of just it's so funny. In this difficulty time, then we have the agric minister separately. We have the fishing. It's so embarrassing. Then that takes me back to why no two are buying for. So maybe some of us, we don't have what it takes to maybe say you can't buy. The good question is, in the midst of all that has happening, why the two are buying for? Do we have a council of state around? And if they speak to the president, do they look at all these issues? What are they doing? Would they continue to sit there and draw salaries? What citizenry, they are supposed to ensure that their council position the president in such a way that he will take wise decisions to ensure the realization of whatever he's committed to do per the constitution. Are they going to stay there and draw if they are indeed advising the president and he's not heeding to their wise counsel? Are they going to stay there? The traditional leaders are they going to shut up? Are they not willing to tell government, say, so cut salary and then cut the size of your government, budgetary allocation to the ministry, cut down, go to the Jubilee House. The number of friends, family, those individuals, a crowd of hopeless individuals who are just drawing fat salaries without responsibility. They are not doing anything because I don't know the job description, or be a church relations officer at the presidency. Minim the oye. Say your church or china obis beba so shrine relations manager, Muslim relation officer, diaspora church mobilization. Just say all these things are there and they are being paid. Don't forget about your friend saying minister at large said deben. And there was this funny description for a lady who came, I think the lady something Nema be brabesinko. And these people are being paid in the midst of all this. So the thing is, who is advising the president? The Christian fraternity. You know, we have really disappointed everybody, because by the deeds of certain individuals, and a lot of people are even shying away from the church because it is becoming increasingly embarrassing for people to just go out there and tell people, say, mention me a Christian, because of something things that is going on. Makacho so wudi nyankopon wachi a wanya de bia de nkanyansa de emma da, and you become very bold. You become very firm, resolute. And when you take your decision, you stand by it. It doesn't matter. Nothing moves you. No money. Nothing. But in the face of all that is happening, yes, Christian Council are issuing statements on the bond. But I can also say they are issuing the statement because most of them have their monies there. Because Ohieni and bond. Because DKM number besin koi se sa man fosika nam wanda so nam kroma be fa man fosika, and victims of your friends said that nam one scam no Some have died miserably, and those guys were very vociferous all over on radio on daily basis. They did a lot of advocacies. Nobody commented, they were ignored till date. Now one is still masquerading in town. Nothing has happened to him. So why the bond? Because they have their monies there. And the Diababa breaking the camel's back, cry in the midst of all the, and what is happening at the cathedral in this particular crucial time. Say yes, the economic crisis and rise staring at us. We are sitting on the nail as people. So we are just trying to, just revise our priorities, throw away all the perverted priorities, and pursue the uttermost. I bear the collective interest of majority of our people. That is what we do. But in the face of all these things, we have committed a whooping amount of money. That money is from your friends, the coffers of corruption. And I see the Kusinyam Kopon dying, and a yenya suffer no mudi anymore. But one person, I'm so much disappointed, I'm so much ashamed. Papa no that Pentecost church no. You see, the Pentecost church is a very nice church. I have a lot of people who go there. As a Captain Smart, me and Madam for a Pentecost in it. A lot of people go there, but the man, politics has gotten into his head to the extent say maybe he has forgotten say somebody was there before he came. So he has decided to package the church, use it as a political instrument, and he's using it to do whatever he's doing. But he came to meet the Pentecost church. That is a very respectable church. They have made a lot of names for himself. But the man has just picked the church and he's using it to do his personal politics. But I can tell you that there are a lot of people in the Pentecost church who are not interested in your politics. If you want to do politics, just leave the church. Give it to those who will do church work and go and do your politics, because we know him. His political lineage, who he is, we know. That is why he has taken this whole thing personal. And I saw his letter, a response to your friend is saying, what is the name? Also for ya, or say, while resigning a free body, see, is it, mirror finishing? I said, yes, he would Mills. What kind of letter now? He says, wow, this is a guy who is unrepentant in his stand. So in the midst of all these difficulties, he is still in charge of that particular thing called Board of Trustees, and they are committed. He's aware of the corruption that is going on. He's privy to the fact that government is taking money. And Edward Mills in his letter catching on the plane said, we have spent a whooping $30 million. And all that we can show for is a pit at the center of Accra. And he went ahead in his letter telling them, say, the people who are asking the questions, they deserve answers. Their questions are legitimate. In his resignation letter, he said, say, all his concerns now are raising in none of them seem to be addressed, because you see, we are not living in a monarchical state where somebody will say, yes, I source my power from certain divine kind of blah blah blah, so I speak to God directly. I am not accountable to anybody. I am the queen. Such nonsense don't exist in a democracy. Even UK crowd saw him, they got into a point they realized that no, let us shift. And then political authority is shifty, power of administration is shifty to the PM. Because you cannot be leading people and say I'm not accountable. Such nonsense doesn't happen anywhere. And he's aware that state funds have been committed to that particular cathedral, and Parliament wasn't aware. As a man of God, the first thing you do is to honorably resign and go away. But because of that deep-seated politics he's involved in, I am telling you, yes, you are entitled to do your politics, but don't take the Pentecost church to do those dirty politics. Because it's becoming, I don't do these things, but it's becoming increasingly annoying, because the same with the guys, when the Galamsey issue became quite apparent and everybody was worried, we wanted people who would be bold enough to look at government in the face and say, hey, we know those who are doing the Galamsey, your people are involved, be bold enough